I'm the original founder of OneID, and I've been doing some work in payments and then in digital identity in the Nordics. And what I noticed is how simple and easy it was to prove your identity using bank-supported identity services, like the famous BankID, which is very popular with the public, right across Scandinavia, and products like It's Me in Belgium. I felt we could do something like that in the UK. And I had a lot of experiences personally where I felt, we need to do something that's more documentless. I remember my family coming to me and saying, we want to book this nice Airbnb in Italy. And I worked with Airbnb for about 3-4 years. But this time they asked me for my identity. And here's a leading tech company. I thought, this is going to work okay, isn't it? No, I had to go to my safe, pull out my passport, hold it up, the light wasn't right, we can't quite get the image. Hang on, I've worked with you guys 3-4 years. Why is it that it's so difficult for you to know that it's me? Why are you putting me through this painful process, Airbnb? And I'd spoken to these guys in California, and I thought, crumbs, and we didn't book the apartment through Airbnb. It was lost business. I thought to myself, well, we can solve problems like that, at least here in the UK, with a bank-supported identity. And so I got together with some old friends. We raised a significant amount of money. We built a platform. We now work with NatWest, with DocuSign, with Adobe. And we have a whole range of lovely customers, some of them who are saying what great value they get from using our documentless, really simple to use OneID digital identity product supported by banks. And I'm very proud, we're starting to see now case histories. One of them recently came to us, they onboard people for banking services, and they came to us recently and said they're seeing a 50% improvement in onboarding. 50%, that's, could be quite a few million to quite a few organizations. So I think we're getting something right, and I hope we can continue to support the community and the move away from legacy identity towards reusable identity, like ourselves, and digital wallets, which we're very active with. Well, I think there are exciting developments, and it's a bit more than that. They're revolutionary. And they're revolutionary because for the first time in the UK, we're going to have identities mandated in certain scenarios under the Online Safety Act. This is to protect the kids so that we really do know that they're looking at the right sort of content. And for that, we need age verification. We do that at OneID, where people can very quickly prove that they're over 18, but they don't need to share lots of data to do that. They can do a zero-knowledge proof that simply says, through a certified digital identity architecture, we are certified under the government's trust framework, that actually that they really are over 18. And I think the combination of the online safety regulations, which affect social media, and also the government's digital identity trust framework, are truly revolutionary, because we now have a definition of what good is in the digital identity space for the UK market. We've been one of the pioneers at OneID of working with the Department of Science, Information and Technology on the digital trust framework. It's now going through the DPDI bill to become an act in Parliament this year in 2024. Game changer. It means that we don't have to continue to provide a legacy experience in the digital identity space. We can do things for the digitally natives, and that allows us to grow our online businesses. So it's important, I think, what the government have done here. I think just to finish on this point, we're also seeing lots of momentum in Europe with the EU and the EU digital wallets. And while those will be mandatory in Europe, that's not the case in the UK, they're encouraging people to look at what good is like. And I think we will see certification of digital wallets. We already are a certified company. We already have a digital wallet in the cloud. I think, again, empowering consumers to prove they are who they really say they are quickly and easily, and make a simpler and easier digital life for them. Well, I think that's one of the motivators for having products like OneID, which are backed by bank and bank data and the algorithms that banks use AI algorithms to check we really are who we say we are, because they're protecting our money. Our product actually relies on the establishment of the identity by using the bank's algorithm. If we don't do that, we are wide open to fraud. And we are seeing incredible amounts and disturbing amounts of fraud, particularly with payments being initiated, where if we check the identity on boarding using a digitally native product like OneID, we can cut that fraud right down. And we've seen that in Scandinavia, where similar bank-supported digital identity products have dropped fraud to an absolute fraction of what we're seeing in the UK today. So I think the solution is using these types of digital identity products. You wouldn't be able to make a payment through a peer-to-peer payment infrastructure in Sweden unless you did do it using your bank-supported digital identity, using your bank ID. So I think we need to move to that in the UK. At OneID, we're starting to work now with the payment operators, including players like Pay UK, with the regulators, the PSR, we're already FCA regulated, to try and move the industry forward. The problem can be solved, but we need advanced digital identity solutions. Our particular product relies on a trust over time algorithm, which is built through the bank's relationship with the consumer. Then we bring data in from multiple sources to correlate an identity to reduce the risk of a synthetic. Very difficult to fake. And then we run a behavioral biometric authentication at the point of use. So people really are who they say they are. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. But because we've got the right commercial framework, the right regulatory framework, and we're starting to work together across the community to fix a problem that right now undermines the UK economy. We can fix it with products like OneID.